Going?
Yes.
Hey.
Welcome to episode 24.
24, yeah.
Of the Deep Seated Podcast. It's so funny. I always forget to like say the name of the podcast. So then like people are like,
like in it?
Some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just make sure that this audio is in sync. Yeah.
But is that a little cheesy, dude, every time? Or
No,
whatever?
man. I want to fucking be sitting here with Deep Seated Podcast tracksuits, mugs, fucking hats, underwear, fucking
Underwear.
like this right here.
Campaigning,
Instead
man.
of saying human, it would say Deep Seated. Oh,
Dude.
my cat got into this shit. God damn.
Fuck, that's the worst material for that stuff.
Oh, dude. Like, they can just lightly I'll pick up a cat, and then they'll just
Oh, it's because, like, their nail catches it, or even when...
just slightly.
Anything sharp like that, where... So you sit in a chair or something, and you catch a corner, your sleeve on something, or you walk by something.
Like a splinter on a desk or some shit at school back in the day. Like, you'd finally get a nice pair of fucking... Well, in my era, it would be a nice pair of Adidas tearaway track
yes,
pants.
exactly.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
I was going for that shit. And then fucking it would just like catch the back of it and then rip it a bit, and then enough that it undid the buttons on your tearaway too. You just like, oh fuck, goddamn.
First it was the tracksuits.
Yeah.
And then the tearaway fucking phenomenon, man.
For real. And it's starting to come back again.
Yeah. I saw...
And they're doing the thing where it's like only done up at the top and like only done up at the bottom.
Yeah, it's like half undone, right?
Yeah.
Where kind of like the Fear of God pants, where they have them zipped
Creative
and
with
then
my
hanging
tearaways.
over the shoes.
Tearaways.
But I remember, the tearaways. Dude, what was the shop that was just behind you?
Dude,
it was like a
shoestrings.
Was it shoestrings?
Yeah, it was shoestrings.
Okay,
yeah.
That was. I remember going there as a kid, and that was
and
like
it had the
athletic wear,
the two footprints.
Yes. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
Because
right.
I had to think long and hard about that a while ago when I was like, because that was one of the places that I went
fucking go to. For that shit. Yeah.
I went there every time, and it was like I'm trying to think what movie. If you just think like typical 90s movie, like Clueless or something like that, where if they were to go to a sports store, like a sports athletic wear store,
look like?
Yeah, this is exactly what that place was like. Like the way it was painted, it was like straight out of like almost like Saved by the Bell or some shit.
And it had like the bikes out front, remember?
Yeah.
And then random fucking like snowboards, but like really small selection of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you'd have all the athletic wear, and you'd always go. I remember like I would always go straight to. It's funny, even now that I'm the exact same. No matter the style of it, I would always go to bottoms and tops. Mm-hmm. So bottoms being
right.
Like back then being like the track pants or jeans. Mm-hmm. And for me now it's like any kind of bottoms, like fucking denim. Like I'm a big denim fiend. But those have always been the two things I'll splurge on. It's bottoms, like pants, or fucking jackets.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I was like...
Makes sense, though. When you finally got something nice quality, like, you'd be like, why are my pants not falling apart in 3 months? You know what I mean?
Dude.
Why do I still have my Adidas jacket, my Adidas EQT jacket in my fucking closet now that I got in 1994, I believe
That's
it was?
Fucked.
I just need to give it like a good wash, and it like would like fit perfectly with today's attire. Like, it's sick.
Yeah,
I'm just
style.
missing the zip-in fleece liner for it.
Ooh.
But that's
the zip-in shit.
Yeah, the zip-in shit was fucking huge. Just get a little retweet action here. 1 second. I'm not trying to be that guy all up in on his phone. So I want to do something that we haven't. Yeah, I thought about that for a long while because that was like.
What made you think of that?
I think I was telling a story on one of my older vlogs when I was trying to remember like what got me into sneakers and shit like that. And for me, it was the fact that was our closest kind of store that we had to that vibe that you would see in TV shows and movies. And I always remember the footprint, like the two fucking fucking silhouettes.
Green, right? And the white footprints.
Yeah. Fucking shoestrings. And so but the feeling of going through that door and then just smelling all the new athletic gear and the rubber and glue from the shoes. Exactly. And it was just like all the extra rubbery smell from all the balls and shit. That sounded bad. Phrasing. But dude, that was exactly it though. That shit got so nostalgic that like when I started collecting shoes and started getting mass amounts of like new shoes in my like I always have like a small office here or when I was at my parents' place, and I'd walk in there and it would start to have that smell. And I was
super nostalgic.
Yes.
What's funny about that is
added on to it.
'Cause sometimes you get new stuff and it doesn't have that smell, you know? But I got those Pumas, the Big Big Sean joints, right?
What do they call the Super Suede 50s or some shit?
Yeah. The suede mids. They have the sock liner. Super sick. Unfortunately, they were a little big.
Yeah, Moby's like, I'm like, oh, you must be just cheesing right now, and he's just like,
I tried them on. It was that moment where
I know.
You open it and you're like, oh my god, it's so sick. You're like, I fucking pray to God that this fits. You know?
My that's them Pharrell Johns right there. Where it's like, got them.
Those are a little big, right? You said
yeah. And then it was just like, put a fucking insole in it, and it was just like, okay,
right? But yeah.
Continue though. Where you just like you open it up and you're like, oh shit.
Well, okay.
But it's a teetering moment, right? Because you almost have to decide.
Well, because I ordered first off, I missed when they originally dropped. It was just that one shoe, and then it sold out of my size. I slept on it. I was like, I fucked up. Then boom, they restocked, and then I was with you, and I was like trying to figure out, are they like true to fit? You know, I'm like, I don't know what size to order when they restock, because I'm like, it's just gonna go right away, right?
Fucking so different.
And so I just like, fuck it, I don't want to miss out. So I ordered 7.5, which is what I am, but I got them. They're too fucking big. And then I looked on their site, Puma was sold out of the 7. And I was like fucking crushed. And so I was like, either I keep them, they're too big, or I just fucking send it back and I don't know, try to figure it out. But you hit me up with the link for. Randomly, like Foot Locker had them. I thought it was like going to be more exclusive than that, because originally they didn't, but Canada only had 8 as the smallest, so I went with the US one. I just instantly
Foot Locker, you said?
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So I ordered Foot Locker from the States.
Did you just get it down to like Point Roberts or some shit, or did you get it delivered to here?
I just it was free shipping.
Oh
yeah. Okay, so I was like, fuck it,
because you'd legit probably end up getting charged at the border if you try to bring them back anyway. So if it's free ship up here, you might actually, realistically, you might get charged with duties. Well,
the Puma, I thought it was gonna be the same thing, but it didn't. So it's like, it's straight up, dude, it's a toss up with duties. It's like sometimes you do, sometimes they don't, which is like, I don't know, like literally how they decide. It's like they flip a coin, I swear to God.
Yeah, for real.
But anyways, problem solved. So I got the 7 coming. I'm just gonna return the other ones to Puma.
I'm gonna do something that we haven't done here in a while on the podcast and start off with the morning meme.
Oh yeah, no doubt. What the fuck's this?
I don't know what I do. All I do is say, oh, that last song did, she said goodbye.
The shit's
Walmart Yodeling Kid. Where's this? States? Canada?
Somewhere. So as the internet goes, you'd start getting like clips of just that part. Like,
and the remix,
and then it would be like my favorite one was it would be like it would be when I first saw it, girl was like, when he's all up in them guts. And that was it.
That's hilarious.
I was like, oh god. So then,
dude, people are too quick with this shit.
So then you just start seeing remix after remix, and then now there will be like green screen cutouts of him standing in front of crowds where it says Warped Tour 2018, and then like there's him like on stage with Post Malone, and like just
it could happen now, man. Right?
It gets better.
Shit trends.
Because people go, like, this shit could blow up. Or you find out that his family's completely racist. Like that fucking the bullying kid. Do you remember that one from a little while ago, where he was like crying on camera that he was being bullied, and like I forget his name. But anyways, that's the.
Then people made that a meme, and
it blew up into this big amount of support where like LeBron James and everybody was reaching out to him and like, yo, we're gonna fly out to these games, like, we're gonna we're sending you this money, we're sending you this.
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And then fucking all of a sudden, like, all these images come out of like the kid and his family posing with Confederate flags, holding guns, and like all this like crazy amounts of racist shit, and everybody's like, and then the mom like had started up a GoFundMe once this shit fucking started blowing up so she could make money off of her kid being bullied, and like just it got so greasy instantly. So everybody's like, this could go one of two ways. Either you will be on stage with Post Malone, or you just But yeah, that's the meme of the moment right now. 1.5 million views, and it was number 20 something on trending right now. That's insane.
Oh my god. It made me think of when you're saying like people do remixes and shit. Remember like for a while they were doing those like they would take clips from the news and make them into like songs. Do you know what I'm talking about? I forget what they were called.
Here's the EDM one. Exactly what you're talking about with.
Dude, it's like it's so quick. And people are like, "Oh my god, it's trending!" Like, in an hour, they make something, post it. You want to get it out right away for like views and clicks. It's nuts.
Give it a week. This one's gonna be gone.
Not even a week.
No, Yodel Kid will be around for a week. He's legit as fuck, dude.
Well, what? Is this from yesterday?
No, this has been around for at least a week now.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's still going because people love it. Because people are like,
you know what it is? It's the fucking hamster dance,
so
dude.
Pure. Yeah, for real, dude. Right?
Remember that fucking shit?
That was the fucking.
How did that even? That was. I swear that's like the first example of this.
One of those. It was, I think that was hosted on eBombs World, to be honest. And then it eventually was on Hamsterdams.com, I believe.
Fuck yeah, they would make it, eh?
But yeah, that shit's fucking funny, man. It just like blows up so hard, and there's a bunch of people that are like,
I haven't heard this shit in fucking I don't even know, 15 years maybe. I remember this shit on the radio as a kid, like, and it would play multiple times a day.
It's just probably all like super copywritten now and like getting that YouTube money, so we won't play it too much. But it's what? This is
much.
Yeah, of course. This is fucking good. Much music. That was our MTV of fucking Canada back in the day. All right, look, that's.
Is that like? Was it a group that made that song or a dude?
Probably just a dude, man. Like that was around the time. Like I remember there was another one that went viral around the holidays. Where
was this pre or post Sandstorm?
I'd be pre. I'm pretty sure that'd be pre. It's right around the exact same era though. But no, there was like around the time where there was a guy that made video. It was out of dog barks, and he would tune the align the dog barks on a fucking scale, and then make it into a Christmas song.
God.
The one that made it onto Much Music Story was with cats. That was with cats. It was cats meowing to Christmas songs, and it was just like, because back in the day, to edit that would have actually been intense as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Whereas now you just throw it into like Melodyne or some shit, and it just like all hops everything into fucking perfectly in tune. And then
dude,
like, all right,
editing anything back in the day, like I remember
Christ.
Grade 9. Like I used to be in French immersion, and they used to do this project every year where you'd work on it for almost the whole year, like something like 10 months or 9 months.
Yeah.
You would work on this project, and then it would be something like that you've never done before. Like you would take on a big project and try to build something over this time, and then you would make it into a big presentation to the class, right? And so I was like this is like when I was really into skateboarding. And so like I made my own like skate brand, and I like learned how to screen print, and I made my own ones.
Dude, that's
and
fucking hilarious, because I actually remember when you got your fucking that screen printer.
Yeah, and then I like made like a promo skate video with my friends, so we'd be out filming every weekend like for months. And then this is back when we had like handy cams and like big cameras on the shoulder, right? And I edited the video from VHS.
Yeah.
You know, from like having the 2, and you're like rewinding and recording.
Well, you'd have to ideally to do it like, well, you'd have two VCRs side by side. Yeah. You'd line up the scene that you want on this one, and you'd line this one up on this one, and then you'd have that one, and like to be able.
That's like what I did, and it took me like days to make a fucking 15-minute video, like, and it was like such a learning curve, and then like trying to figure out how to put like text over it and shit, like oh my god.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, I used to fucking just randomly make compilation tapes of all my favorite music videos, and then like little like skits. Like, so it would be I probably still have one of them somewhere. It would be like old school music videos, and then after that video was done, then it would be like a little fucking skit that I liked from Mad TV, and then it'd be like a little fucking piece from a cartoon, and then it'd be like a bunch more music videos, and then like a piece from Beavis and Butthead, and it was just like a compilation, like mishmash of like everything you just liked at that moment.
Basically, it's like your mixtape. You know, you go back and listen to it, and you're like, oh, this is what I was into, like that. I still have summer, you know,
some of my like Kurt's Metal Mix 3 from like fucking 2001 or whatever, 2000, like when I first got that CD burner and was trying to make money off it and shit. Well, I did make money for a little moment, but then it was like everybody got one, and then you're just fucked. You had to get it. You had to get in on the curve,
right? And then like Limewire came, people were downloading music.
Well, it was Napster first. Then
for me, I was like late. I didn't get a computer till late, so like Limewire, I was like, "Yo, this is like the holy
Napster,
grail."
And then from Napster, I believe we all went to Kazaa, and then from Kazaa,
I forgot about that.
There was a couple other little ones that you started messing around with a little bit in there. I can't remember the other ones. But yeah, then Limewire became like in like when it was skirting on the lines of like what was legal and whatnot after like fucking the whole Napster bullshit with Metallica and all that shit, right? They ended up finding their way to be able to do shit because Limewire was when it finally got into torrenting.
Yeah.
Because before it was just peer-to-peer downloading, straight up downloading fucking MP3s from one another and like not doing it in like the bypass the law way where you're like, we're just sharing information. It was kind of like just like straight up just like, yo, here's the files. Which I don't know. They, like I say, they found a way to skirt around the fucking shit. So that's where torrenting came in, because it was like, yo, we're able to like do this legally.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Fucking allegedly. That's funny. That was that seems to be the way with anything though. Like if you can hop on it like immediately, you'll be able to make a good amount of money from a moment. It was like when when hoverboards first came out, like the little like the pole-less fucking segways that you just stood on that like they were hoverboards.
And then you get like the fucking random companies from China that do the fake ones. And
well, fucking I almost even thought about getting into that for a moment, like where it was like you buy a box of those and you get them for fucking what was the cost that I ended up finding? I think it was something like you'd find them for like $60 and you could sell them for like $400 or $500.
That's so fucked.
Yeah, you just have to import like 100 of them at a time. And then you'd go on fucking like through like just the back end of understanding some stuff. I'd go on to like Craigslist and I'd see the exact models I was looking at and people selling them, and just like know that they're just like for that moment making like fucking like $5-10 a month off of these fucking hoverboards and shit. Like just crazy.
It was those were like the new Razor scooter.
Just
like boom, kind of came out of nowhere and like boom, just took the world by storm.
Like you see rappers with them on fucking their at the time would have been Snapchat stories, because Snapchat was actually big and hadn't tanked yet. Fucking
dude, Snapchat. We talk about that fucking Rihanna thing?
No.
Did you obviously know about it?
Yeah, I was already on the train of like fuck Snapchat, but like then that shit was just like, it just made me laugh. Really? Like, how is that a good idea even the slightest? If anybody doesn't know, like, I mean, you can fill me in while I drink my booch.
Yeah, fuck, man. I can't remember where I saw it, but because I didn't see it on Snapchat.
Yeah, I
saw it like because they were quick and got rid of it, but obviously people screenshot it and stuff. But they had this thing with like,
it's like a poll or something.
It's like a would you rather.
Yeah,
and that's right. It was like, would you rather slap Rihanna or punch Chris Brown?
That's right. I was like, really?
I was like, holy fuck, dude! Like,
really?
Yeah, like who thought
that was a good? I mean, somebody was like, ooh, sensationalism, but then it's like,
holy fuck,
really,
man? Yeah,
like that's how far you wanna, that's not good.
Well, it's like, even if like you were like, would you rather slap this nobody or punch this nobody? Like if they were literally like, like us, like people don't know. You're still like, I don't know, like that's kind of fucked up. But like to pick someone so high profile that like literally could shut you down.
Well, even the like, weird shit though too, where it's like
why would you ever?
The phrasing of it makes it even so worse. Fucked. Where it's like, who, like if it was like, who would you rather smack? Might if that was it might come off as slightly playful. But as soon as that like would you rather smack Rihanna, right? And then it's like, it still just kind of becomes that like joke, like, you know what I mean? When you're like talking about something with, man, I like to smack that guy upside the head, right?
Yeah.
Or like, it's kind of a saying like that. But then it like,
but it's not,
or punch Chris Brown. It's like, oh no, you're legit actually talking about being physical here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it kind of, adding that punch Chris Brown escalates how much you actually meant smack Rihanna, and understand
it's like the seriousness of
that
it, you know?
he smacked her in the previous, and that there's a fucking whole lot. Like they knew what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like no, like somebody knew what they were doing. Whether it was like they understood.
What do you
that,
think
like,
their goal was with that though? Like
that Snapchat needed some eyes on them, and that they needed to take a risk. They took one. It was the wrong one. It was the fucking wrong one.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So then, like, you know, that's even the shit with fucking, like, we kind of talked about before the podcast a bit, was like with Facebook that's going on right now. They went down over 80 billion in shares in just under a week, and they're hurting right now for certain. Like, just fucking.
How do you bounce back from that?
What was this? What was the I sent this image to my homie the other day. Where was it? It was a quote from Zuckerberg. Most of Facebook's 2 billion users should assume their data has been compromised. Like, you should just assume that your data is fucking out there for everybody, right?
Should I?
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
What? Fuck you, Zuckerbot. Like,
Zuckerbot.
You know, and like H3 just put out an amazing video on that. Like, it's so funny. I'll show you it afterwards.
On like his speech or something, like his apology.
No, it's just a super funny video where it's like he goes over the top pretending he's like breaking down a conspiracy theory about Zuckerberg, and like does this like terrible like editing to like make it look like he's fucking found out all these secrets about Zuckerberg, that he's actually a robot, and like all this crazy shit. And it's so funny, like just a little 5-minute video. But our fucking boy, we haven't had an Elon Musk minute in a minute.
I was like, wait, what?
He's gonna be a little more your boy after this one, because I know you have a
Kanye thing.
No, that one was fucking. That one has hype as fuck. I don't think we actually talked about that. Giving
him and Kim the Tesla cars. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I didn't even fucking. I wasn't even aware about that one. This was a different one. He fucking straight up offered Zuckerberg. He's like, I want to buy Facebook. Like, I want to buy it. Here's an offer for some crazy amount of money. And it was like, what are you gonna do? Why? You've talked about how much you don't like Facebook. Why would you want to buy it?
Because he's gonna just shut it down.
He was like, oh, I'm gonna delete it.
Yo, what?
And he's just like not even like he's just, no, I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna do everybody a favor, and I'm gonna delete Facebook.
Dude, that's fucking. If he did, dude, that's like legendary.
It's fucked. Like, oh, I've seen how this fucked people up from the outside, so I'm gonna.
Fuck Facebook, straight
up.
You
know, like, so there's now like the hashtag, like more than yodeling Walmart kid. Actually, I don't know. Yodeling Walmart kid might be hashtagging more than delete Facebook. That's
so it's like a movement now.
Yeah, there's a movement right now. Hashtag delete Facebook.
When did this happen?
It's been over since the whole controversy kind of started. It's helped. This movement's been around for a long time, but it's helped gain traction. Especially now, you get people like Musk that's like, yo, I'll buy it so I can delete it, and I have the money.
Yeah, that's just like his throwaway.
Yeah, he's just like, nah.
Like, literally, I'm gonna throw away
10 billion.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the billions. It must be to buy that.
A lot of hooch. Yeah.
Just that's so fucking gangster, dude.
Yeah.
Yo,
so
that's
dope.
What's up.
And the thing that we kind of dabbled on a little bit when you were like, oh, what's it fucking the Kanye thing? I sent you the link about it, where he just in a recent interview, somebody was like, oh, who are your greatest inspirations?
What was it? It almost seemed like an interview, like on stage, like at a university or something.
Yeah. And his first word out of his mouth, as serious as him saying I would just delete Facebook, he was like, without even hesitation, he was like, oh, Kanye West. And the crowd starts laughing.
Yeah, like he's joking.
Yeah, and then he's like,
yeah.
And then proceeds to elaborate why, and then just like without even like
amazing.
And it was just like, if you actually understand the behind the scenes of it, that like how much that guy's Kanye, how much he's put up with to get to where he is, and how much impact he's actually had. and that's why he has so much hate. You know what I mean? Like it's
totally.
I mean, I was one of those people that, like, before I knew anything about him, I was swayed in with the hate train just because it was like, it's Kanye West. Look at this fucking guy. And then I didn't actually know anything about him. It was just like, it was like literally the Facebook movement of like,
oh, it's fucking Kanye West guy and his wife. What the fuck going on? Why does everybody pay attention to them? Why don't they pay attention to me? Can you pay attention to me?
And then, like, as they're putting out this post so people will pay attention to them, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's
go fucking do something. How about that? You know?
Totally, man. Fuck. People gonna hate sometimes without even like looking into the person or whatever it may be that they're hating on, right?
It's legit.
It's easier to just hate than to like research. To understand,
Facts.
right?
The simplest way I can always like be at ease with any of it, and I have been for a long time, is just that, like, it's just reflection. You know what I mean? Like, that is literally that just person having a reflection on themselves of being upset that they've never done anything in their life to get any accolades or anything that's been creative, or like, so they're just like, why are they getting, how did they, me, why are they paying attention to them? How, you know what I mean? And they're just like, it's just an outcry.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing that, like, when I was like, you know, younger, I think I'm probably talked about this on the fucking podcast before, but like when I was younger and I saw dudes start wearing skinny jeans for the first time, and I started making fun of them.
Hate,
hard. And it was like, I didn't know why, but then when I realized why, it was because it looked fucking good, and I was actually like, yo, that's probably comfortable as fuck, because I hate regular denim, and that shit has spandex in it. Like, that's probably actually
that
dope.
was a game changer. When they started doing like the 1 or 2% spandex in jeans.
So now it's like, if it don't have 2% spandex, I don't fuck with it. I'm a big boy. I got these long fucking legs.
No raw denim for you,
you know? Dude, I would tear, one long fucking, you know, like a little fucking, like little squat action, little fucking.
It's not happening raw denim, no way.
No. I need to be able to fucking squat on down on the ground.
Especially like if it was like
picker,
some like heavy ounce denim too. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, you get into something like 12, 14 ounce, or you get even
that cowboy denim,
even heavier than that. Like
that ride a bull denim.
When I used to work at that boutique, we carried this brand, Naked and Famous.
Yep.
Super sick Canadian brand from Montreal. They would do some cool, well, still do, like lots of crazy collabs and just like different denim, like different crazy colors. They would do different materials, you know, shit that would like glow in the dark, shit that would change. I forget the term for it, but you know, fabrics, when you touch them, they change from the body heat.
right.
Thermo something. I forget what the term for it. But then they would do ones that are like crazy woven. They did ones with like Kevlar woven, but they did crazy heavy ounce ones where this pair would stand up on their own, and you would literally you would hold them up, straighten them out, and like run your hands down the leg.
Like the dual layered kind of stuff, like Carhartt style shit.
Not dual layered, no. They were just straight up like that. It was such a heavy ounce. They were so thick. I forget which. It was maybe like 22 or 24 ounce or something. They're fucking crazy. Hey Jim,
make sure you give the demo pair all of the starch.
yeah. Dude, they're nuts. But interesting, like about that brand too, like the owner, Brandon Spark, he actually came into the shop a couple times. Like we started carrying them years ago, before that they were like really on anything. Where like he would come into our store from Montreal, like you'd fly and like be pitching it, right? And he was his own fucking sales rep, you know. And he's
grinding, eh?
Dude, he's pitching us, like he, you know, was telling us how he came to be, how he's done the business with his family, would travel to Japan to source, you know, his denim, because Japan is the fucking king, reigns.
Well, they just denim. If you want something done properly,
but
with attention to detail,
even like he went into a lot of like the backstory about the brand and like how he started. And what was really interesting is, do you remember that brand Avisu denim? Their symbol, like,
if I saw this,
is like on the back pockets. It's kind of like those two upside down U's, like the strokes on the back pockets.
I'd have to see it.
I'd have to, okay. Yeah. But anyways, another like really sick denim brand. He met with the guy that would like represent that brand, like when he was first starting, because he wanted to take this guy on to help him like build his brand, and to like pitch it and sell it and stuff, right? And so he was just saying how he met up with him in New York. He's describing like his goals, everything about his brand, why he's doing it, and so on. And oddly enough, the dude was like, I can't do this for you.
Yeah.
And Brandon was like, what do you mean? Like, you're perfect for it. Like, you would help me elevate like my game, you know? Like, I'm going to hire you, like pay you. Like, you're saying you don't want me to do it, like to pay you. And the guy was like, no, he's like, not saying I couldn't do it for you. He's like, I could do it for you. But he's like, he had so much passion, and he like was like so into it that he was like, dude, he's like, you need to do this on your own.
Right.
He's like, you're going to be more successful if you do it.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, I thought that was really cool to hear someone that is at such a high level.
Right.
To like, to someone who's up and coming.
Yeah.
To see that, that potential he had, and to be like, no man, like you need to do this. Right. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. And you look at him now, and he has like certain huge accounts that he does specials releases for, like Barney's and shit, where he was even explaining like, he's like, man, he's like, I got like Barney's on board. Like,
right.
Where he's like, I can only do specific ones just for them. They'll only get it. No one else can. And like, you see like where he is now, and I'm like, damn, it's crazy hearing like meeting him in person years ago when he wasn't even on anyone's radar, and hearing him tell you his story.
Right.
And you see where he is now, and I'm like, it's crazy because you're like, dude, fuck yeah, like you stuck with it, grinded it out, and it's like,
it's gonna take
you're so
longer,
successful.
But that
like,
shit, in my mind, you're gonna have so much more longevity if you do it on your own.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like there's like all the people that do get that instant exposure, or like can like blow up that much faster with certain people higher up help and shit like that. But that's there's just a certain thing about learning how to do every employee's job before you have the employee.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that when you're like, tell this person, yo, I need you to do that, and then like they throw back like a, like, you know what I mean? Even like a why, or like how would I go about it? You're like, oh well, like this, because I know how to fucking do it perfectly. I understand the facets of this and why I need a person like this, and it's huge, man. It's gonna take a lot longer. It's gonna be worth it though. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to actually do, like. So that's hype to hear something like that though, like you say, from like those two varying levels of success, to get that little like a little handout and be like, all right, no, you gotta go on your own. You know what I mean? Like,
but like not even the like, you know, the dude be like, nah, I just don't think you got it, man. Like,
no, it's not in that
he
way
was
at
like
all.
He was like, you got it, like you got this.
Guess what, like, it's right here, and I could easily just give you a but like it's gonna be so much more, like you're gonna like,
but he's like still, I'll help you, but like
and then
like from the back, like the side,
that
like
slow grind is just gonna all of a sudden it's gonna roll and accelerate in your own path and in your own lane,
and it is, and it has, and it's fucking, it's cool, man,
without any fucking curtails from the other person, and like shit,
and
like
then
that.
like
that's dope.
And then listening to like fucking uber famous people, you know, like ASAP rapping about Naked and Famous, you know, and you're like, fuck yeah, like back in the day. But it's cool, like you see, you know, those milestones.
That's for
I
damn
guess
sure,
you could
dude.
say, you know, you're like, fuck
yeah, the long haul grind is always like, it's so rewarding even from the outside, you know what I mean? Like when you see somebody that's like,
especially when you know you're put onto someone early. You know, like for me, it's like a lot of rappers, you will have like a mixtape or something, and then you're like, oh, who the fuck's this? Like come out of nowhere and drop a mixtape. And then, you know, you're a fan of them like years ago, and then you see how big they get and they blow up, and then you're like you said, you're almost like, you're like proud of them, like as if you know them. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm so stoked for this person, like that they're doing that well, you know, even though they're like uber famous. But
and it's like the big difference between the guy who's been putting out mixtapes the whole time to the overnight SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like puts out the one track and then just blows up hard, even though like he's just like, you know, just downloaded Fruity Loops like a couple months ago and like started building his first beat. You know what I mean? There's like a big difference between like on the back end, the recognition that the person would have. Not discouraging anybody that has done that and done the right thing with it, but like, there's, you know, there's definitely going to be that like, you know, not knowing how to accept that overnight success by a lot of people. Yeah. Where it's gonna be accepted differently. So it's different. There's a different thing where it's like it's the meme culture, right? Where it's like that's why some of those SoundCloud rappers are only going to be around for that year or whatever. Yeah, type shit. Where it comes back to the meme shit, where we're like that shit's around for maybe a week now, where memes used to last like 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, and then it just slowly gets whittled down more and more and more. Yeah, because I catch myself on it, man. Yeah. I just saw a fucking, I'm trying to remember what video it was, which is completely irrelevant, but my brain is just like, oh, I need to know the title. Completely irrelevant. But I saw a video the other day and I'm like, oh, that's an old video. Posted underneath it. 5 days ago, this video was posted. My brain said, oh, that's an old video. Somebody like, just posted. What do you think? Months? Weeks? I don't know, but my brain's perception of old now in this content-filled world. It's like a week, man, really. It's like, damn, that's old, man. It's 5 days ago. I was like, holy fuck. I'm doing that. Like, yeah. Like, it's just, we're in such a world for that. Yeah, right now. People want content, man, right? Well, it's just that same shit, like, where it's like every 2 days, man, more content than there's ever is created in 2 days. And next 2 days, oh, we just topped it again. Yeah. Oh, okay, there we go. It just keeps. How I get it though, like. Yeah, like, was I talking to you about this, about like my other friend that does like social media stuff too, does a videography, and he was talking about a friend of his that he knows that has like 150K followers on Instagram. Right. Was I talking to you about this? I think we kind of talked about it a bit. I don't know if it was on here or not, but. Where he's like, man, sometimes I see like, this is my friend saying this, and he's like, sometimes I see like, she'll be like, post 2 things on Instagram, and then she'll vlog something, and then like she tweets something out, and then does like a live video or something, like all in one day. Yeah. And like she does so much content where like she has like 1,500 posts or something on Instagram, like so much shit. But then she's doing Twitter and she's doing live streaming and like. And he's like, man, he's like, fuck, like, he's like, man, I'm just like slacking so hard, you know? He's like, you look at, it's funny the way he pointed it out was, and we're just talking about people want content, right? Like, if you're just consistently putting stuff out, like, you build that following, right? And he's like, man, he's like, I care so much about like what I do, and I spend time making these like long video edits and put time into it, where he's like, for me to have 1,500 posts, he's like, at the rate I'm going, he's like, it's gonna take me 120 years, right? Like literally, you know. But and he's like, it's making me think about like the quality. He's like, do I stick with what I'm doing, where I'm like trying to put out like really good shit and hopefully people follow that, or should I do a mix and just do the throwaway garbage shit, the daily stuff, just like for people to stay up on? And he's like, it's fucked how it makes you think. And like how you might change what you stick with, and I know where a lot of those thoughts come from. But if I was talking to your homie, if your homie ever listens to this, fucking the biggest thing is you're immediately looking at it in the wrong way. Yeah, because I was like, it compromises like why you're doing it. Yeah, well, not only that, but like to bring in the classic fucking quote, the comparison is the thief of joy. You're trying to compare yourself to what this person does in their own lane, in their own mind, is what they want to create, and that's they're tapping into their own nature. And if like that's their kind of content, like, you know what I mean, like that's so you don't even like, you can't even to the slightest be like, oh, if only for 1,500 posts, blah blah blah. Like that's that person's brain. You know what I mean? Like that's them doing their thing. And for them, like, that's not garbage content. You know what I mean? Like, for whatever, or you know what I mean? Like, that's that person trying to create what's in their head or finding avenues for their stuff. It's just how they're doing it. Yeah. So even if you took on that fucking motto and did what this other person was doing, it wouldn't even work for you because you're already thinking that it's garbage content. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Totally,
I'm just gonna do some of this garbage live posting stuff, and
it has you thinking. You're like, maybe that's like the recipe to do it, right? And you're like, not necessarily,
not
dude.
even
it's
the
like,
slightest.
Sometimes you may see someone's account. They have like 4,000 posts, and they have like 500 followers because they're trying to do that, right? But that not necessarily is gonna work for everyone.
Not even the
but like,
slightest.
Especially if you're just doing it to do it, and you're not using it as like a platform.
You have to find your own voice and voice like yourself through it, not like
like if your platform is not you doing like what you do, it's just like you just posting memes or posting whatever. You're doing it for the wrong reason. That's why it's not successful, right?
Yeah, you have to find what you want to actually do, and if that is put out one banger a month. One banger every 2 months. That's fine. That just means you have to find something that facilitates that to make sure that you can do that and that you are still enjoying doing that. Because that's what you
otherwise it's gonna
want to do.
It's not otherwise, make it fun.
Exactly. Otherwise, why the fuck are you doing it?
I just need something else now. Fuck, this is stressful. This is whack. Like, fuck, whatever. I just need shit. It puts you in a fucking weird.
Hello?
Ooh, Amazon. Oh. The fucking no response.
No, I think it was somebody dialed the wrong one.
Oh.
I'm not expecting no Amazon today.
No, it seems like you always got something like
there's always something
delivering, eh?
Fucking. But yeah, it's I mean, like I went through some of that stuff recently where I had to like decide what input I was letting in and get rid of certain things and how I was using each fucking platform, and like, you know what I mean, without having it be tainted by how other people use the platform.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Because that happens so fucking fast. What the hell?
You're like,
hello? Okay, yeah, come on up.
Woo.
FedEx.
What
am I expecting?
What'd you order that you don't remember?
I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know what's going on here. So we're gonna have a fucking package. This is the first time we've had the package come mid podcast. I knew it was gonna happen at some point. Get the knock on the door, and then I'll have like, homie, just fucking.
Well, you better bring it down and open it up and see what you got.
Yeah.
It's funny how you have no idea.
Yeah, I have no clue. Not even the slightest.
What'd you order last week? It's probably something from last week then.
FedEx. There's no way that could be my customs already. I don't know.
What'd you do? Like some expedited like
but why
service?
Would that be? I don't know. We'll find out in a minute though. But yeah, it was back to just like the social media thing. It was just finding your avenue and posting what you want to post, not trying to be somebody else. You know what I mean? And that's where the shit just gets dicey, right? Like, comparison is the thief of joy, man. It's the fucking best quote I can find for reals.
What's that from? Never heard
I think that was Thomas Edison. No, was it Thomas Edison? I can look it up. Skirt. Comparison.
Yeah, that's a good one. Never heard that.
Of joy. It was always just like a good way to Theodore Roosevelt. I knew it was somebody fucking old Teddy. Old Teddy Bear.
Teddy with the win.
Yeah. Where's that knock action? I want to know what this is. Fucking
the suspense.
It's killing me, dog. It's killing me.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Speaking of killing me, this fucking weather, dude. It's so gross out here right now.
Yeah, it's super, super gray and wet.
Ooh, I don't like it.
So taxing, man.
Skirt.
Ooh, the knock. Let's see what the shit is. Yeah, the weather, man, is crazy how much it affects you. Like, it just makes your body sore and shit. Let's see what this guy got over here. Ooh, it's a little box. Dude, those are shoes. It looks like a shoe box.
Do I open this shit right now, then?
Yeah, dude, fucking bring her on over. Here, I got a key. Use my key.
A little secret secret action, so I gotta get the fucking vlog to get going too.
Ugh.
Fuck. Jeez, we're doing fucking multimedia here. Fucking to the...
If you think of it, don't say it out loud though. Like just straight up bring it over and don't say anything. Just open it.
Word.
Yeah, let's see what this shit is.
Yeah, I legit don't even know what it is. I think I might know what this is, but I just got a package. We're in the middle of our podcast right now. And,
Well, what?
This
Angles.
Is on the thing. So I'm gonna just hang on a second here.
Bring this shit. Here, you want me to hold that? Doesn't say?
No.
Adidas, dude, right there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not looking. Jeez. Just blowing the fucking cover here.
So, some from Adidas. The fuck?
Something from Adidas. Way.
Soon it's just gonna be. This is gonna be the norm, but it's not gonna be shit you order. It's just gonna be shit they send you. You know that, right?
Man. I'm not a
Eventually, you're gonna be like, "What's that?" And you're like, "Oh shit, Adidas just fucking blessed me with this shit."
I gotta work on my booty a bit more for that one to happen. They're all about sending the fucking ladies and getting the movement. I think is a dope idea. Like let's spread that fucking 3-stripe lady movement. All right, we got a little thing there.
We good?
Jeez.
See this shit.
Skirt. How? There's no way that this is the custom pair.
Oh.
Because I just got the shipping notification
last night.
and I checked it this morning, and there was no data on it. Like there was no.
Sometimes that happens though, where there's nothing, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh shit."
White box.
I think I know what you mean by the custom.
All white box. Dude, I'm.
Is there a sticker on the side with
No,
what
no
it is?
sticker.
No, nothing.
So I'm thinking this has to be
The custom.
the customs, because if you look at this here,
Nothing
there's
on
nothing
there.
there.
Yeah, on
Nothing
anything.
there. Nothing there. Whoa! Killing it.
That is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit, that happened fast. Damn. All right, well, there's the reveal. There's my custom to be custom. These are the fucking. Oh, that's blown out like shit.
Yeah.
Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Let's go.
It's not all white.
Let's go. No. Okay. Well, why did that automatically stop recording? Goddamn cameras. Okay. Well, anyways, I ordered these off of. Oh shit! Yeah. Look at the fucking insole.
Dude, fuck yeah.
So I won't reveal what these are going to be customed into yet, but goddamn camera! Why'd my camera stop?
Those are dope.
Okay, so my camera just randomly stopped, but can't stop saying that now. Custom Anikis,
Boost.
so sick. Little gum bottom action. So Adidas just recently did a custom Aniki program where you could basically custom build your own Anikis, like do like all the individual panels and things that like whatever color you wanted. And I had
that too. The number?
No, they changed the Aniki name to the I-5923 for lawsuit reasons for some shit. They got sued for having the name Aniki. I don't know how. But I was gonna do a custom anyways. I'm double talking cameras here. And then yeah, I found out that they had this shit, so I ordered it up and literally got the shipping notification and all dust bag action. Nice.
Respect.
Oh, kombucha burps. But yeah, so I'm gonna close this vlog off so we can get back to the podcast. Okay. Well, that was unexpected.
That's cool.
Fuck, that was fast.
Yeah, was that
All in all,
last week you were telling me about
I ordered
that?
these maybe 3 weeks ago, and here they are. So I'm gonna customize these bad boys as a themed movie shoe. That's all I'll say so far. But yeah, hyped.
Cool, man.
Super random fucking thing for the podcast. Sorry about anybody that was only listening to that portion, but if not, maybe it was exciting. I don't know.
Just
Maybe it was old time radio shit where it was like, oh, I hear there's a knock on the door. A man from afar comes with a package.
like very descriptive audio. Yeah.
Hello, I'm here from FedEx. Please sign. like when everything's so over. Do you remember that?
Actually, I should have peeked over to see if I knew who that was.
Hey. Skirt. Fucking it's in
Because it's FedEx, right? It wasn't ground.
Yeah. It was like a older lady.
Well, I mean, it was FedEx. Federal Express, not FedEx ground. Yeah.
It's fucking, they say on your mom's house podcast, FedEx.
FedEx? Was that what they say?
Yeah, she says it like completely wrong. And she's like, no, it's FedEx. He's like, no. I refuse to call it FedEx.
Not having it.
Fuck. I was gonna say something though. Oh yeah. Do you remember on I think it was on Rock 101, I believe it was Sunday nights at like 11 o'clock, they would play that old timey radio shit where it'd be like ghost stories and shit like that, where it would be like,
no,
oh dude, that shit was awesome.
Like how long ago?
Like, dude, I'm gonna say we were in high school. I just started driving, so
15 years,
2004 maybe, just out of high school, 2004 2005.
Yeah, fuck that.
Okay, no. Well, because like we would go out in my fucking original Camaro
and listen to
Hotbox and listen to this shit.
Really?
And it'd be the demon from the fog or whatever the fuck it was.
Was it something they did or something that was that they had access to? They would play.
Yeah,
like
they had access to the archives. No, sorry, it wasn't on Rock 101. I believe it was on CBC because they had access.
That would make more sense.
Yeah. And fucking, so it was fucking hilarious, man. It was so like I mean, you're baked as fucking shit in the middle of the night listening to it, but it was entertaining in its own way because you like put yourself into that mindset that before TVs, before, now the smartphone, which is the new TV, before that stuff, there was the big radio box,
the ham radio.
Yeah. Where you pull up, fam.
Yeah, let's eat dinner, fam.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Not even that. Like after dinner, you all curl up around the radio and listen to stories. Like that was just what you did.
Like what? Like 40s, 30s?
Yeah, 30s, 40s. Yeah. Like my mom's era. That was what they were doing before TV and shit. Yeah. And then TV came around.
Became like you'd roll up the TV to the dinner table, like fucking Back to the Future style.
Did I ever tell you about like my grandpa's like inventions that he would like fucking randomly make? Like he made his own he hated commercials so much that when he had his fucking the big TV box and like the cliche big TV box, his own chair, it's like this is dad's chair, right?
The TV dinner stand, folded beside,
and then like the fucking like you got your night or your TV table fucking here or whatever. It wasn't TV table, like an actual fucking side table and shit. And then he hated commercials so much that he fucking
turn the TV off?
Nope. He installed a fucking switch box here that he screwed into the arm of his chair. Then ran a cable down fucking around the back through the fucking side panels of the fucking like the baseboard so that it was like hidden by the carpet and shit. Ran it around to the back of the TV, opened up the back of the TV, found the fucking circuit that went to the speaker, and fucking put a fucking splice in between that had the switch connected to so he could turn off, like
mute it.
So it was a mute switch before they had fucking remotes.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's the grandpa that gave me like so much of my ingenuity. Like,
dude,
just straight up like, fuck these commercials. I don't need to hear this shit. Click.
That's crazy.
They didn't have remotes. Like it was like the get up, walk up, you have a big dial.
Yeah.
You pull the dial out and then you can turn it around to your 10 channels. Let it load. Yeah.
Would fire up. Yeah.
Big fucking dude. So like when my mom told me that, I was like, holy shit, that makes so much sense. Like the way my grandpa's brain worked.
Yeah. Well, he just had the understanding of like anything. You open it up and like there's a way.
A circuit like that's just voltage going to the speaker. So if I just fucking put a little splitter in between that voltage, then I can just turn it on and off and there's a fucking mute.
That's hilarious though that he did his fucking
like and like those arm. Old school fucking switches too, they're like shik-klunk, shik-klunk. It was one of those, right? So shik-clack, shik-clack, and it was like so super satisfying. Yeah. Sitting there with your beer, fuck these commercials. Like, that's so awesome. You know?
Hell yeah.
Fucking he had one of those lamps too that were like it had the I think it's like they utilized the grounding circuit within the lamp so that if you touched the lamp, it would turn it on.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So when you touch the lamp, and then if you kept tapping just the base, like you wanted to
get brighter. Or something?
Yeah, exactly. It would go up brightness settings until you turn it off, right?
Yo.
So it was just like simple little shit like that was like would get my brain thinking, and he was into like building ships in a bottle and like had this mass. I wish that I wouldn't have anywhere for it right now. Anyways, he built a massive fucking scale ship with all the like the
you do that
knots and
with
the
you do that
and,
with like the like long little tweezers, right? Where you put
yeah,
in the
that
parts
one,
and you set them up.
Yeah,
Is
the
that how
one
you
in
do
the
it?
bottle, you build it outside of the bottle minus the mast and stuff like that. The mast is laid down on the actual ship, then you put the ship through the bottle, and then you build the rest. You literally raise the mast like a fucking barn raising inside the bottle
But
with tweezers and shit.
yeah, but some of like the actual ships are like wider than.
Well, those ones they'll build the core of it, put it in, and then like the
And
mast
add
and
off
stuff
of it.
is they'll bring in the side pieces and shit. But the whole mast part is built before it goes in.
Oh,
So then
okay.
they can just like fucking like Jewish raising a barn wall. They just like get a little pole in there, like and fucking just lift up the little mast and shit.
like Amish.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry about that one.
I was like Jewish. What?
Yeah.
I knew what you meant though.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, okay.
And the funny thing is
Yeah.
either of those like religions or races wouldn't even be offended. They'd be like, yeah,
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
yeah. The Amish though, it's so funny. They have like, as much as they get made fun of, they're so down with all of it and like so cool
Like the
and
hate
so kind.
Yeah.
Because they've got so much shit actually right. Like,
I remember like when reality shows kind of like had its revamp, like around
the revamp.
you know, like when Survivor and stuff kind of was huge. I remember there being like a one show and it was like Amish in the City or something. It was like the younger kids would be like early 20s or like late teens.
That's actually part of their religion where they when you reach a certain age,
you're allowed to do it and then you can choose for your own.
yeah, because they're so confident in what they do, and like they're like we
won't
like
even
our
want it.
yeah, we like our style of living. We got it figured out. We don't need electricity, all this other shit. We're just gonna like build our community. We're gonna help each other build our houses and barns. We're gonna help each other with all this shit.
So cool though.
It's actually in fact really rad if you get past all the like jokes and all that other shit, right?
It would actually be like really interesting to, you know, when kids go away for like summer camp or something, but to like do something like that where you go away and you hang out with them for like the summer and you
you do the
build,
reverse of what their kids do.
You like you like hang out with them and like build shit, and then you're like you maybe like
to
down.
finish on what I was just like for
Sounds
anybody that was
interesting.
listening or whatever that might not know is that like they're so confident in what they do. Their kids become of like 17 or 18 or some shit, and then they're like, okay, we want you to go now live in the big city, in amongst all the hustle and bustle. Go out in life. Go see what the rest of the world is actually about.
Yeah.
Broaden your horizons, and then if you want to come back, you come back. If you don't,
I wonder what like the success rate of it
yeah,
is. Right? Like,
apparently, a lot of them, like I think
half?
it's a lot, come back because they're just like, yeah, that's just not
too
for
much.
me. This is not for me. I get we actually have some shit figured out here that like community is pretty damn important. Helping one another,
Yeah.
Having a sense of fulfillment for actually working towards something with your hands, like
Yeah, and that communal aspect is huge.
Shit that's missing over here, you know.
It's pretty cutthroat.
Dude, man.
Oh, yeah.
But then like just even the simple things where the average person doesn't even know how to like fix something, or like, you know what I mean, like just whatever it is, something so basic.
Change your oil.
Change your fucking oil, dude. I'm not even talking, that's like complex compared to what I'm talking about. Like I'm talking about like
How to make a PB&J sandwich, then you can YouTube it.
Dude, just like I don't even know where to begin, man. Like people would like freak out if their toilet got clogged. You know what I mean? Like there's people that are like at that level where they're just like, oh, like I'm not ready for the real world of like,
what do I do?
you know, I flushed too much toilet paper. Like, yeah, it's bizarre, man. Like, and then to the repair portion of it, where it's like, average person wouldn't know how to fucking swing a hammer or swipe a saw. Like, you know, like, I'd be worried. People be chopping off limbs and
Dude,
shit.
how to shoot a gun.
Or you fuck any of that shit. Like simple shit. You know, from cooking to like cleaning.
Yeah, and that's when you get those shows when it's like the nightmare like handyman shows, you know, when it's like shows couples that don't know what they're doing, like trying to build a table or something.
Yeah.
Or like the baking fail shows.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
like,
always so funny.
It's just like for some reason, like people like seeing people fail That shit is like so cringe to me. I hate watching that train wreck
part
shit.
of fucking humanity, that's for sure. Fucking, they were talking about it on the Fighter Kid the
and
other
like
day.
Nightmare Drivers and shit.
Right,
that stuff.
And then like so much of that stuff too, though, like it's put on for the fucking camera, like where they probably are extra shitty, but then they just make it extra shitty for the fucking camera.
They edit it, yeah.
You know, and then even the people know that they're being
shit.
filmed, so then they like go over the top with their shit. And it's just it's human nature, right? Fucking people want their time to fucking shine, right? Whatever that is, whether it's their shit posting on someone else because they can't fucking, how dare you be creative and get accolades for it, you know, it's to fucking whatever other garbage outlet they find for it. But within that, there's like still so much fucking greatness, and like even
for sure,
we're starting to see it a lot more now. Where maybe it's not the fact that maybe it's not more prevalent, but we're able to see the media coverage of it and shit like that, where it's like the young phenom, like even yodeling Walmart kid, like as much as he's a meme, the kid's actually good at yodeling. And he's like fucking like 10 years old or some shit. Maybe younger. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pretty young. Like he's not going to be able to yodel properly in 3 more years once his fucking starts going through puberty, right? Or maybe in that period he becomes the yodeling champ.
Yeah, he may have like an Usher moment where do you know what I mean by that?
I do, yeah. His voice completely changed, right?
Yeah, because he was like a superstar as a kid, right? Singing and shit.
Well, even fucking Bieber went through a similar
and then
thing.
When he hit puberty, his voice completely changed, and like labels and stuff like wanted to drop him.
Yeah.
And he had to like kind of start from square one and like learn how to sing again with like his new like vocal tones.
It's the
which is crazy.
I think we talked about it before, but it's kind of like the same thing where it was like acting agencies wanting fat actors to stay fat. We know you as this. You have to be this. This is what we were able to sell.
This is what people like. This is what we can sell. We can stamp on a package. Like.
This is what we can sell. You know what I'm saying? So it's
so
like,
fucked.
So in that instance where it's like just your voice changing naturally through age, you're like, whoa, shit.
And you're like, what? All of a sudden, like, you're out?
Yeah. Well, that's and again, that's just fucking human nature. Everybody wants to try to criticize shit, right? It's like Thick Ye or whatever, where it's just like Kanye being a happy dad,
or Thick Rihanna, right?
Yeah,
when it becomes a thing, you're like, when you're like, oh, do you prefer Thick Rihanna or like Skinny Rihanna? And you're like, what? Like,
I don't know, whatever she's happiest as, really. You know, I mean,
it's fucking,
and that's the thing though. Like
they're two different people,
but I can
like,
fully understand people like saying that they're maybe attracted to one thing more than the other, but saying that a person's like shitty or like for making decisions, or that they're not going to be able to do the same.
The worst. I hate when people are like, they're like, yeah, I like the old Wiz Khalifa better. Like, I don't really like him now. And you're like, what? Right. It's the fucking same guy.
No, you mean his music. You're allowed to say that you enjoy his old music better, but
it's like, just say you prefer, or you're like, I don't like him now. I like him before that. And you're like, what?
I like this era of music better, or something like that. You like, that's taste shit.
You're like, all of a sudden this person's just a piece of shit.
Yeah. See, that person just has their head up their ass and doesn't know
that shit.
What a fucking,
and you're like, what? Like, and legit, I've heard more than fucking like a dozen people specifically point out Wiz in that way. But
fucking
that's why I went to that reference.
Those people's faces too. It's like, you have your head up your ass, and because you don't have a creative bone in your body, you can't distinguish a person's art between the fucking person. So you think that that's like cohesive. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just not. You know what I mean? It's like when people think that a Facebook profile or Instagram profile is a person. No. You can ask, like, they even have done polls on it for anybody that's stupid enough to answer polls. So from the people that are stupid enough to answer polls, the percentage of that said that fucking like it was like 50 to 60% of people post not even close to who they are on their profiles. Like, they're a different person on their profiles.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's just like common knowledge among the stupid people who answer polls. that so in reality of it, it's like 70-80% of people that just like aren't even being who they are. They're just posting their highlight reel
flex, or they're trying to just convince themselves.
That's where the other portion of it comes in, right? Where it's the flex nature, but then there's a really good, I still follow Beam News even though Casey's no longer a part of it, but they just put out a really good video on like what's it called, like is Facebook bad for mental health or something like that, where a series of like researchers yeah it's like an 8-minute long fucking like they're like news style piece of it or whatever, where they just kind of like break shit down, actually talk to a bunch of smart people about it, and like one of the like original programmers for Facebook that's like actually sorry for having created Facebook, and like whoa, all this shit where they're like, yeah, like it's starting to actually get to this point where you have a certain amount of people that are either, it's what is more devastating than the comparison, this thief of joy bullshit, like where people go on there and like are trying to post to be like other people, is the lurkers, is the people who don't post,
the lurkers
that don't fucking like, you know what I mean, aren't posting, aren't commenting, aren't liking, but are still searching and lurking through everybody's post and page, and they have their pages private because they don't want anybody to know they exist, but they're just consuming and comparing and consuming, and just starting to feel like
the weight of all that
about themselves so hard because there's no output, you know what I mean? It's like on a different level, but like pretty much on the same level in a different way. It's that fractal shit of like what I always talk about like needing to find out how important your input versus output it is. So if this person's only taking that input of just garbage, people pretending to be somebody else,
it's gonna weigh on you, man.
Oh god,
it's fucking mentally draining, dude.
Yeah, dude. So it was real interesting fucking little video that like goes into a bunch of shit where they actually even had like psychologists and like researchers and fucking science people with actual
science people,
graphs and pie charts and all that smart stuff, where they were basically like broke down like over like this is like where depression and things were at this stage, and like yes, people are getting safer, as in like we're not having as much teen pregnancies and all these other things, and but depression amongst teens is
over here
it's just rising because like there's no more social like interaction, just even simple shit as like sitting down having a conversation with your homie, like you know what I mean, weird shit. So it's like there's some weird shit going on right now when we're like we've had a certain amount of these,
and it's still early, you know, even though it's been a thing, it's like, but in the timeline
it's still considered a new thing as far as like humanity and culture and shit goes, right? Like as far as how we interact with one another, but it's starting to have been around long enough where we can start to gather data. Like we're starting to get those little peaks of like, you know, literally what we're talking about, the pie charts and graphs and shit,
the trends, right?
Yeah So it's like starting to be this little like oh shit moment where people are like, oh, like it has a lot of good, it's done a lot of amazing
like you said about
things.
the guy, right? Like, oh shit, like maybe Facebook wasn't a good idea.
Well, the way it got executed, right?
That's crazy.
Of like putting so much of the shit into just like, just the direction got so far pushed wrong when they were like
mental inception.
It's the algorithm shit where they're like, let's put all this in computer programmed hands to let like computer based decisions dictate what people get to see. And that's what's happening with YouTube right now, because they have over whatever the fuck it is, like 100 million minutes uploaded every single day of content.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Like the actual number isn't that, but it's insane. Like it's insane the amount of content that gets uploaded to YouTube every day. They had to instate the algorithm, as everybody fucking deems to hate to weed fucking out. Calling it and shit, but it's to weed out shit and to dictate what people want to see and all this other stuff. So if it's like this garbagey fucking sensationalist content, but that's all of a sudden what's getting watched, then all of a sudden the algorithm, without thinking on a personal level that it's good for people or not, goes, oh, that's what people want to see. Let's feed them more garbage drama and fucking you know,
this is, you might also like this.
Exactly. So that mixed in with the fucking 60% of people that are dumb enough to answer polls, the fucking thing, and then they're in here all day long not actually fucking posting things outward, and it's just like like
I don't even remember the last time I even saw a poll on something.
Oh yeah, like that shit's like,
do you see, you're online a lot more than I am.
Yeah, and I don't get those kind of polls. Like I think that's the thing, like I don't ever see Like that's the
it
kind
must
of shit.
be on Facebook. Then,
It's on
eh?
Facebook, but it's also a big one. Is it's like email shit. Like they like literally weed out people like through email. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and that's why I'm saying that there's the small percentage of people that are dumb enough to answer polls through.
So
emails.
they have to reply to some fucking random email.
Yeah. So it's like some
What?
the people who are like, you know,
Have nothing better to do.
The president of Uganda has just sent me a possible check for 1.5 million. I just got to send him $20,000 deposit.
It's like Nigerian money
You're
scam
just like,
things.
what? Like, I mean, but it's crazy nowadays. Like, I now know what emails are instantly fake, but I see a few of them a day sometimes where it's like, your PayPal account's been breached. Please click in here and re-log in with all your data.
Yeah.
Your fucking
like banking.
Yeah.
Cell phone.
And I had to sit my mom down and like sternly warn her about
Like,
that.
yo.
And sometimes I get messages from her being like, is this real? I'm like, nope, delete that right the fuck now.
Yeah. Do not open that.
Yeah, do not open that shit.
Even just opening some of that shit, right? Just
It's fucked.
virus.
Yeah. Well, it's fucking. It's luckily the good thing on fucking Mac. I think I've only ever dealt with one piece of malware in the 10 years, 12 years plus I've been using Mac now. You know, like I
haven't had any. Yeah.
The fucking viruses I used to get on PC.
Oh God.
Like I'd be fucking recording a band and I would just have shit like shut down mid recording and I'd lose the last 20 minutes of recording.
Oh.
And I'd just be like even though I had autosave on, somehow shit would still just get fucked up or like some shit. And it was just like
The fucking worst.
sorry guys. Like,
and how do you tell that to someone, eh? You're like, yo, sorry to interrupt, bros, but
when
can
half
you do
of
that
game,
one more?
Yeah, when half of that game is playing fucking therapist and getting the person into the right mood so that you can have a 20 to 40 minute window where you can record them at their peak.
Yeah.
So then now all of a sudden you've fucking recorded them at their peak and now they're already out of it and then you fucking just lost all that. You're like, I'm sorry. And then you record takes and have to settle on something that you know was nowhere
that's
near
the worst.
as good as what you had. And the people are just like, yeah, no. That was one of those times when I was like, oh, what? Industry standard for recording is Mac? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to switch.
There's a reason why.
Yeah. And it wasn't because of that it's better or whatever. It was that it works.
It eliminates that.
It just works.
Factor, right?
For this pocket of what I want to do, this is what works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Costs more money. Is it worth a lot of money? I'm not here for that debate. I'm here for the fact that works.
I'm gonna pay this to avoid that problem.
Yes. You know, and that's the same thing that happens
that's
now
worth it.
when like I laugh at how easy the integrate. And I mean, this, sure, whatever. Fucking, this makes me sound more like an Apple fanboy than I am. But like, I don't give a fuck. Like when I'm working on shit, I'm editing my vlog, or all of a sudden I'm like, man, I want an overlay fucking with my like handwritten fucking shit. I just quickly pull my iPad out, just go export PNG and like airport drop it to my thing, and I have it there from my thought process in 15 seconds.
Yeah. Just
like
done.
Oh, there you go. I didn't have to fucking, you know, whatever.
Do the million extra steps.
Jesus
right?
Christ, man. Just even the simplest shit the other day, like where I have like my wood shop in my office at my parents' place, because like that was like part of me being able to finally fucking, I don't know if I told this on the fucking podcast before, but anyways, I keep that my wood shop and my office at my parents' place. They got the fucking space, and I'm like, hell yeah, fucking save me some money.
Dude,
I don't need to justify that even the slightest,
No.
but my brain's just like, let me tell the story. So been there for setup's been there for like 6 years, and something simple as like I'm in my office space and my scissors are usually in my cup right here. And then my scissors got borrowed. I think my dad realistically borrowed them and took them somewhere during like his renovations and shit. Just even having to look for that pair of scissors for fucking 20 minutes the other day or some shit, and I still never found them. I had to like find a new pair of scissors. Was just like literally like just literally the fucking worst.
The whole time you're just pulling your hair out or what?
You know, you're just like, come on, like I could have had been like this is why you set things up at work to be like you grab shit right where it is.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
It's like muscle memory. Right?
Yeah.
You know exactly. You don't have to look.
Yeah.
Just pulling.
Because it saves you like that fucking 1 minute that now turns into 20 minutes. That now you're fucking
Now you're over it. You don't want to do what you were doing.
My teetering edge of how many things I'm trying to do in my brain. Sometimes this like that little thing could be enough to just fucking like just fuck me over. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh no. I need to step back for a second.
Right?
I need to calm down.
Chill.
Drink some booch.
Drink some booch. Solves everything.
I've been drinking so much kombucha lately, dude.
I walked in. You got fucking a couple dollars. You recycle those bottles, man. You got lots of shit.
Yeah, I fucking was just like, you know what? Fucking, I've been hitting the yogurt and kombucha so hard lately because it's been like fixing my gut, like legit.
Yeah.
Like I don't wake up in the morning with my stomach in pain anymore that I just was used to. I was just like, oh yeah, it's on fire.
It's on fire.
It's on fire all the time. Like, what's that? Yeah, just constant bubbling in the back of my throat. That's just the norm, you know? Like,
yeah, it becomes the norm, right?
Yeah. So then all of a sudden I started like waking up after like one day I was like, I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna drink 2 bottles of kombucha today. And then I woke up the next day like, oh, this actually feels pretty good. Damn it. That was expensive, but damn. Like 2 bottles of kombucha and lots of yogurt in a day.
For the health though, right?
Yeah, for the health. You know what, man? I was just
What's funny about that, talking about the yogurt, is previous podcast I was saying when I went and hung out with a homie talking about that documentary he did, and then like I was like, oh man, I had crazy stomach pains, and it woke me up in the middle of the night, right? Dude, yesterday same thing happened, and it's been like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah, stomach was feeling kind of funky all day, and then maybe around like 4ish at work, like I just had these pains in my stomach, and it stayed the same for a few hours, and then like maybe like 4 hours in, it got worse, and then I went out to eat last night with some friends, and it got so bad, dude. It was so painful. I almost like had to leave.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like when it got really bad, we left, and then on my drive home, it was so bad, and I got home, it was so painful, dude. And I was like, it's probably on a scale like 7 out of 10 on pain.
Right.
And I was like, yo, this is not cool. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I was almost like gonna go to the hospital. Kind of slept it off, and like I feel better now. But I was like, fuck, like what? The only thing I ate, dude, was I had like a big serving of like Greek yogurt. Right. With granola. Right. Because I had meeting downtown yesterday, and I was busy running around before work. So I ate at like 8:30 a.m. and I knew I wasn't going to eat for straight up 12 hours. Right. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to have like a big serving of this. Right. And I was like, that's the only thing I ate. Not really out of the normal, but I was like, why would it do that? And then I thought back to that other time when I was saying I had the stomach pains. I had the same thing that day.
Okay.
And that's not really that normal for me to eat. Like, and so like earlier when I got here, I was like on my phone, because that's why I'm like so out of it today, because fuck, dude, it killed me yesterday.
Dude, this is why I'm smashing all this shit, because I know how important gut health is.
Yeah, I was looking it up, and I was like yogurt and stomach pain, like, and I was reading on like the Live Strong website, and it was saying like obviously that's not normal, because I'm trying to think like that's the common denominator I have to go off of right now. And like, dude, because I don't really have dairy at all, you know, besides like a little bit of the yogurt. We talk about like improving your gut, right? But man, like I feel like maybe I've developed some sort of fucking allergy to it.
Could
like
be very possible.
I think they're talking about, what was it, like lactate or something.
Well, there's also, I have other thoughts on that too. Not that I'm a fucking doctor by any means.
Now I'm like super lactase. Yeah. Is it the enzyme that breaks down lactose that you have? So I'm like, maybe it's that. So I think I gotta go to like my doctor and be like, yo, is this a thing? But like, fuck, now I'm like super weary of like what I'm gonna eat. I definitely wouldn't
go to your general doctor about it, because they don't know shit, and they'll just give you some.
No, like my own doctor.
No. I mean, like that's still like they don't know shit about diet. They know abs. Like you go there, he's gonna just put you on some medication, guaranteed. Like it's gonna.
Now I'm like super weary of like eating anything. Well, like I haven't eaten yet, and I'm like, fuck. Now I'm like scared, like to get that pain again.
Let me just tell you though, this becomes part of getting older, where you literally just like you start becoming your own science experiment, where you have to be like, eat this. Let me think about what I ate and like know what I ate and then think about how that affects my body. Like it really becomes this like dude. Okay, yo, we're there's like I actually have this other thought about it too though, where I get this like weird how do I explain this? Because I've been stepping up my game so much, now I know what it's like having like all this healthy gut probiotics and shit like that.
Like when you eat something shitty,
that even the slightest bit shitty, something that could be like quote unquote good for you, and it just like makes me feel like shit. So it's like, so I almost wonder if like I know you eat well, but like just like all of a sudden introducing, because Greek yogurt is like essentially is like the strongest form of probiotic cultures, that like just intaking such a large amount of it at once, that's like such a shock.
Yeah,
that like you're used to this culture in your stomach, like this is what it's you've built.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you're just like fucking healthy, all of the yogurt, and then this like new culture of bacteria comes in, and it's like almost a fight. Because like, whereas my whole thing,
painful.
Like when I like, that's part of the reason why I like kombucha and yogurt, is because I can feel the fight, where I can feel it like fighting against all this bullshit acid that's trying to fight up, and it like is this weird turnover point. So like, I'm not, like I say, I'm not a doctor even the slightest. It could very well be like an allergic reaction, but it would be one of those things to test.
Yeah, because you can develop those allergies, like,
well, just not, it's not even just allergies too. It's you can get comfortable as like, there's people that like their body can be comfortable fucking with a can of Coke and a pack of cigarettes and like a burrito in a day, and like run, not, it'd be more of like a but like it would still be able to snap. Yeah, it'd take a few more to start up, but that's what it's used to running on. Where if that person ate like a sprout of broccoli, they would be like fucking have aneurysms or some shit, right? Like
you're like all these ulcers.
Yeah, so it's just kind of that same thing that like even kind of like what we were talking about with the podcast in a weird way, where it's like you get comfortable doing one thing, and that it's like it's almost becomes harder to like step out of it or whatever. The latest
who knows, right? It could be so many factors. That's what's
so like, it's just
so
I just say just know you're getting older, and you have to actually like legit turn it into
tailor
science.
your diet.
Yeah, science experiment shit, where all of a sudden like, well, I know if I'm gonna eat that, I'm gonna be out of commission for 4 days. It's worth it. You know what I mean? Or like, or whatever the fuck your decision is at the time. Like, but then it's just like it's this weird one, man, where I'm
just gonna try like for the next little bit, like no dairy.
Yeah.
Like, and see.
And then there's always just try the elimination factor. Like try removing one thing
for a while, and then
introduce
try a little bit
of it
in
back,
a couple weeks.
Then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then like even it's a scary thing to think about, but like that's why I'm pushing probiotics and all this other stuff so much right now, is that aging is just the battle against bacteria eating your body until you're gone.
Yeah, totally.
Right? So if I'm getting older and I've been putting in all this other like letting this shitty bacteria continually take over,
get the good to fight,
that I just need to like get some of that good back in there, like to try to like at least even the odds. Yeah, that's why I'm like on this huge like fermented kick right now, because I'm just like, oh, that's the shit that you're like, you're supposed to be doing, like. Whereas like I remember when I was younger, and for the first time I heard that yogurt was essentially mold or whatever, I was like, I was grossed mold, out, and I stayed away from yogurt for years because I was like, I don't want to eat mold. That's fucked up. Now I'm like, give me that bacteria, like.
Right. Got the better understanding.
Now I'm taking fucking digestive enzymes, probiotics, fucking hitting the yogurt and fucking kombucha, and fucking finding anything else like that has like those little
might have to do the kombucha train.
I'm serious. Like it's
expensive.
It's expensive, but like it
so is
feels,
alcohol. But
exactly.
I don't drink alcohol. So.
Or even a big cup of coffee or some shit. You know what I mean? If you went for a nice cup of coffee every day, it's $3. You buy a bottle of booch, $5. You know. So that's kind of the way I've been looking at it. I'm like, fuck, if I can.
You do it daily or like?
I do I've been doing every day, and that's the one where I like.
That's a lot.
Feeling better. Well, dude, I've been drinking 2 a day for the past like 3 feet. Yeah, today's the 4th day that we'll be going for 4. Yeah. If today's the 4th day, that'll be going for 2 a day. And I'm just like, my stomach feels better.
Feeling good, yeah.
So it's not in like, I mean, it's still a little chaos zone in there, but it's not like, I'm just used to that, right?
Yeah.
It's that comfortability factor where you start to just be like, oh, like you need to that step back to realize what you've been comfortable with and where you actually kind of should be. So I'm just like, oh man, I got so much shit going on. I need to not have a battle in my stomach.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like even like you were saying last night, that shit could be so debilitating where all of a sudden you're just like,
dude, someone could have been like seriously like robbing my apartment, and I just like I couldn't do anything. Like I'm just like laying there. I'm like, fuck, man,
dude.
Like,
yeah, there's certain reasons that like
I was like, I almost was like, I don't think I can do this podcast tomorrow.
I almost called it off. Like, fucking yeah. I was feeling
man.
like shit yesterday as a part of having
hurting.
repercussions from eating something shitty 2 days ago, because I was like, oh, I hit 2,000 subscribers. Fucking pick up a little
What'd
fucking
you get? Chinese food or something.
No, I got the fucking that's the Chinese food I get. The reason I always get rice and ginger beef is because that shit is so good for my gut. It makes me feel so good that when I actually eat that, and even rice as far as like a grain like that helps with the stomach shit like that, because it just absorbs so much. If you literally go with
why do you think so much of the world eats white rice and like North America is like, yo, brown rice, and you're like, wait,
idiots. What? You fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's not just a coincidence. Yeah. Millions of people.
Yeah. So under that note, I'm gonna be fucking breaking out the wok this week, and I'm learning how to make fried rice at home.
Yeah. Yo. Yeah. But you have to. It has to be like the best for it is not fresh rice.
No, it's not. You use a big pot. You cook up like a week's worth of rice.
For like 2-day-old, you use it.
Yeah.
Like,
then you refrigerate that shit in little fucking individual containers, and every time you're fucking doing it, you just plop that in there with crack an egg with some onion, with some olive oil, some egg, or some onions, some peas and carrots and some shit. Fucking and then once I master that, I'll learn how to do the meat and stuff. But it's just those simple things where like I've been removing so many things where now I know that like on the daily, if I have these things, I'm gonna feel so much better, and if I eat certain other things, it's gonna fuck me up, and you know, just gotta focus on that good bacteria. That's my fucking movement right now. Like
figuring out the right diet for you. It's
Whereas like the funniest thing for me,
it's so taxing. Like if you actually try,
well, dude, the reason
you put in the work, research, like fuck, it's so hard.
I was forced into it. Most people do it because they want to look better. They don't like the way. Like I mean, that was a small part of it. I've always been a fat kid, so I became okay with the way I looked. You know what I mean? I was never like the real reason behind it. It was the simple fact that like I would wake up like shitting blood every day. Jeez. And like just crazy amounts of stuff where I was like, this isn't normal, and I had nobody to talk to, right? So like I like had to go through this point of like I had internal like fucking like colon problems and all this like just fucked up shit where it was like I had destroyed my body with all these like sugar and processed wheats and all this shit that we've been told that we were supposed to eat. You know what I mean?
Start your day off with that bowl of Wheaties, man.
Bowl of Wheaties with 2 fucking pieces of toast with that fucking
Nutella,
peanut butter.
It's part of a balanced diet, right?
And so I was just forced into it where my body just couldn't handle what was told to be regular. Yeah. And I was like under my own guise. Luckily, I had the internet and like was able to just go into researching and found Joe Rogan and like fucking started doing in this research, started drinking fucking kale shakes and like fucking going for vitamins
Hulk
and
shakes.
Shit. And that shit wasn't like, so many people thought it was just because I was like, oh, I want to lose weight. I'm like, nope, I don't want to die.
Yeah, we're just like, I don't want to like just feel like shit.
Yeah, like
man, like
the amount of obviously I'm a larger machine than most, but the amount of work that it takes to run this flesh vessel has been so insane. Like just to keep it up to like this fucking shitty form has been like 10
to the standard.
Yeah, to like 10 times the amount of effort that, and like I don't. Like, I'm not like jaded by that in any way, but I'm just saying it's led me down paths where I've had to learn these things where other people's bodies just work, you know, and I'm just like, well, mine just doesn't, you know? So that's just sort of the thing that I'm used to, you know? So it's like you kind of, like I say, that you get forced down the road of having to become your own science experiment.
For those that are aware of it, you know, some people just...
Because I tried going to doctors about a lot of the shit. Nope.
You just don't know.
They didn't have a fucking clue, man. They didn't have a fucking clue. Not a single doctor I ever went to had an idea about diet.
Yeah.
I had a doctor that told me when I was 8 years old that, or was I 8 or 10 years old, that he's just like, yeah, your problem's you're fat.
Right. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I'm aware of this. I'm doing everything that I'm like being told to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like we're all on this fucking different journey, and then through that, what works for some people isn't going to work for other people, even the slightest.
That's the real, issue with it. Yeah.
So it could be even one of those things where all of a sudden I'm like fucking booch and yogurt and all this stuff, and then like I go.
And then you could end up like me when you're like stomach pains. You're like maybe yogurt isn't the fucking.
You go to like, because what it should actually be is you should probably go get like either like a naturopath or somebody like that and get a blood test, and then they actually test you for fucking like a nutritionist where you get your fucking your shit tested for what your allergies you may or may not have. Maybe you have certain deficiencies,
iron deficient or something.
Because maybe all of a sudden it's just like you don't have enough in this one thing to be able to fight all those good bacteria that you're trying to introduce, or you are in fact just lactose intolerant, or there's just you gotta become more tolerant to lactose, friend. Like you just gotta
I just don't have the time, man.
He's such an he was an asshole to me that one time.
Fuck yeah. Worst first impression, right? Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Dude. I wonder how hard it is to find a fucking nutritionist, or how expensive that shit is.
My mom actually recently started going to, I don't know if
like to just go and be like, yo, do the blood test, like let's do all these allergy tests. Like I wonder how much time and how much money, like
wouldn't be a lot, especially up here. That's for sure. And it's important though, man. I mean, I know I want to do I wanted to do it years ago, but I want to get my blood tested just for even under fucking testing my testosterone levels, because I think that could be even linked to a large portion of my depression and anxiety over the years, because so much of that shit's linked to head trauma, and I have everything under the sun for head trauma, like from
head banging.
Like that's just even like the tip of the iceberg. Like from like being a kid and fucking like tubes on the lake to fucking kneeboarding to fucking riding dirt bikes, falling off and smashing my head on shit, to fucking BMXing, smashing my head, skateboarding, smashing my head, rollerblading, smashing my head. I have so many dents in my fucking head that like I swear like I have this extra like almost like a Homer Simpson thick layer of fat that like my brain knows that like it had to protect itself more, like
build up the cushion.
Like we're like, when I was in my drinking days, I knew I had such a solid head that I would just break shit with my head. Like it was just
yikes.
So coincidentally, after all those years of doing extreme sports and smashing my head through things, drinking and being a offensive center in football, using my head first before I could get my hands up to smash people, coincidentally that's when my anxiety and depression spiraled out of control. Imagine that. I don't know if that maybe had a link to do with like that mixed in with my diet, mixed with all the other things.
It's the recipe, right?
Yeah. So I'm finally starting to be able to have my own data on shit that I've done and look at Curtis.
Based upon my notes here.
Fucking,
yeah. Dude.
For real. That's what it becomes.
Straight up.
You're like, damn, I was missing okay, I gotta get a bit more of this, and all right. Shit.
Yeah.
This fucking, I may still be fucking wanting to play with toys and all this other shit, but I've accepted growing up in certain other ways. Shit. All right. Well, fucking, we're at like minute 33. I'm gonna take that as a sign.
Let's call it.
Fucking, that'll be our lesson for the day, folks. Peter Pan it, never grow up.
Peter Pan it.
Peter Pan it and drink that booch.
Yeah,
but y'all have a fucking awesome week, and we'll most likely be back in
week.
I think it sounds like just over a week, and we're gonna most likely have our first guest, so that should be super sick. But you know where we are all on socials. If you don't, go search and find it. Search for Bigfoot.
Search for Bigfoot, right? The never-ending search for Bigfoot. This one you'll actually find, though.
It's true. I don't hide very far. All right, everybody, have a great week, and
peace, everyone.